Hey everyone, welcome to a new series. This is going to be a game called Legend. Legend came out, oh goodness, in 1992, I want to say, so almost 30 years ago, and it was one of the very first video games I remember playing, set thousands of years ago. When magic was wild and new, there was what's that bit? An evil being as old as the world was stirring in its sleep, dreaming dreams of terror and darkness, and those dreams were so powerful that they made waves on the shores of our reality. Those touched by the thoughts of the Dark One became one with it, and rose up in the raiment of chaos, and they made war upon the land of Trazere, slaying and despoiling all in their path. There was no hope until the day the gods sent us the four adventurers. This is their story, this is the legend. So this is basically... Alright, yeah, we read that bit. One of my favourite games of all time is, as I said, one of the first video games that I ever played back in 1992, so when I was 6 years old. And it is a kind of role-playing, isometric, dungeon crawling kind of game. It's quite difficult. It took me about 20 years to complete, like literally from the age of 6 until the age of 26. I played it on and off every now and then one time I just thought, you know what, I'm going to power through, I'm going to try and get this done, and it took me 20 years to complete this game. Now, the main premise is we've got four guys in our party. We've got the Berserker, the Troubadour, the Assassin, and the Rune Master. So the Berserker is our main powerhouse. He's the one who's going to be like slaying the beasts and killing the bad dudes and things like that. We've got the Troubadour, who is going to be kind of like supporting our party. He's going to be playing songs. He's kind of like the second most powerful guy in terms of being able to attack people, but he's mainly a support. He will be able to play songs to inspire people to recover their health, or make them stronger, or make them faster, or make them harder to hit, and all those kind of things. We've got the Assassin here, who is very difficult to hit, and if they get behind an enemy, they can do a backstab for a massive amount of damage. And we've also got the Rune Master, who's like our magician, who's the one who's very weak, but also can cast some very impressive long-range spells. Now, this is our kind of character creation screen. So here we've got Trazere Mantric of Smathorst. And down here it's got this really interesting system where, if you'd like to, you can add an element to your character. So we've got earth, wind, air, and water. And you can add a couple of them if you want, you can add all four if you want, and you can notice the numbers on the side of the screen here are changing depending on what I put down. So, for a Berserker, I'd like him to be strong. I want him to have good hit points. So hits is how much he can get damaged before he falls in battle. I'd like him to be quite dexterous, like, you know, quite quick and speedy. So dexterous is kind of like how much damage can you avoid, and speed is how quickly you can deal that kind of stuff. Intelligence is how good he is at casting spells. Constitution, how much health he has. And luck isn't something we're going to be able to change here, so we're gonna have a look. So water, if we give Trazere the water, his strength goes up, and so does his constitution. His speed goes down though, which is kind of a bit of an issue. If we give him air, his strength goes down, we don't want that. Strength goes down if we give him fire, we don't want that. Ooh, look here, his strength goes up to 17, and his hits go up to 102. I wonder if I combine... Ooh, so his attack here is 61, but if I add water, his defense goes up to 28. His hit points go down a little. You know what? I'm gonna give him earth and water. Okay. Next character, Tunal Roskart of Ongbar. Well, you know what? First off, I think we're gonna try and have some equal numbers of males and females in our team. I think Tunal is going to be one of our female characters. Tunal Roskart of Ongbar. She needs lots of dexterity, so let's see what gives her dexterity. Wind gives her a bit, fire gives her a bit, water gives her a bit. Okay, well, We give her fire. Defense goes up to 46. Hits go down to 63. If I combine some of these things here. Ooh, you know what? I think I'm... Wind on its own. Constitution 9 hits 63. Intelligence 15. But if I give them fire and wind, that makes their strength go up a little bit, their attack go up a little bit. What about... so water adds defense and dexterity. Okay, so if I had fire and air, attack 34. If I had air and water, attack 34. Defense 37, defense 37. Oh, what about if I add all three? Oh wow, okay. Yeah, okay, so strength of 14, dexterity of 16, speed of 14. Yeah, okay, that works quite well. Right, I think Tai Chang, I'm also going to make you... You're going to be my lady assassin, and you need lots of dexterity and speed, so I think... Oh wow, straight off, look at that. Just fire increases it to 18 for each of them. Reduces it a little bit, doesn't really do much. Actually reduces our attack and defense, we don't want that. No, I think that's going to be good. Tai Chang, you can have those. And Zothan, Runecaster of Thrall. Interesting. Now Zothan's going to need a lot of intelligence. Okay, so water makes her intelligence go down. Air makes his intelligence go up to 19. It's quite good, but his hits go down to 28. That's quite a small number. But you know what? Hopefully Zothan's going to stay out of trouble. He's going to be at the back kind of casting spells and stuff. So, right, we've got our crew, our posse, our gang. We're going to start the game. Here we go. Right, so this is our world map. And you can see all these different towns we can go to. Like Smathost and Titanshall and Boot Hill and Dax Pond and all these kind of things. We're actually going to start off by going to Trihadwal, which is heavily defended. So during the day, lots of friendly guys come out and kind of reinforce the towns, but at night, that's when the bad guys come out and we want to avoid those things. Now, every town you visit, you've got a couple of places you can go to. You've got a blacksmith, who looks like this. He's oh, look at me, I'm a blacksmith, and he's super strong, and he's going to be able to buy and sell your weapons and your armour and things like that. Now, we're just starting out, so there's not really anything we can buy from him that we don't already have. So we're going to ignore the blacksmith. The artificer is where you buy magic items from, things like potions, things like scrolls, things like magic rings, and all sorts of magic items you can get. But at the moment, don't really think we need much from him either. The tavern is a place where you can go to talk to the barkeep. The barkeep, if you ask him where to go, or ask him for help, will you pay 10 gold for a secret? Yes. He basically gives you the next thing that you should do. So if you're a little bit stuck of what to do, the barkeep will give you a little bit of a clue of where to go next. So we need to go to the guild in Trihadwal, which we're in Trihadwal right now, but we have just wasted 10 gold, unfortunately. And the final place is the guild. This is where we're going to go to train levels. It's rename our characters or reclothe them. So, you know, here's what Slyzar looks like right now, but actually, you know what? Let's give him some, yes, blue pants, that's fine. Tunal is currently rocking the green, I think. Tunal, yeah, let's keep Tunal in green. Tai Chang, well, we've already got Slyzar in blue, so let's do, yeah, silver and red. Oh, quite assassiny. And then we've got Zothan Runecaster. We've kind of already got red, we've already got blue, we've already got green, so why don't we do brown? Yeah, it's kind of default, that seems to work quite well. Oh, okay, right. Enter the cellar. This is our first level. Now, so this is the world of legend, and you can see it's kind of an isometric point of view. That means it's kind of like a 45-degree angle. It's not top down, it's not side on, it's kind of both at the same time. So there's lots of different things to talk about here. So firstly, I can select the characters. I can press these buttons here to go through them. I've got Trazere, I've got Tunal, I've got Tai Chang, and I've got Zoffen right here. And they've all got their own special abilities. So as I switch between them, Berserker Rage means attack really quickly and do more damage. We've got Tunal, whose special ability is to play songs. So let's play one of the songs. At the moment, Tunal only knows one song, which is March of the Bold Ones. So let's... Good song, good song. I like this. Now, this song's really cool because it regenerates your party's health over time. Really slowly, but it does regenerate their health. So if they're damaged for whatever reason, then your party can recover health. Now, Tai Chang, she has an ability called Hide in Shadow that makes her invisible to the enemies around, and it means that she can get in the way, she can kind of block people, she can hide behind people and do extra backstabby damage. And then we've got Zoffen's ability here, which is casting spells. Now, at the moment, Zoffen doesn't have any spells. And the amazing thing about this game is almost 30 years old, and I have not seen a game do a spell system quite like this. This is absolutely genius. So let's click on Zoffen's mixing bowl. We can see what's going on. Basically, the premise is you can make your own spells. You can do whatever it is you want in this game with the spellcasting system. And at the moment, I start off with 3 runes. I start off with the missile, which is kind of like, I want you to fire in a big line and go over there somewhere. We've got damage and we've got healing. So here, for example, let's make a spell which will heal anyone who it comes in contact with. Now, it's not just good enough to put the rune into the bowl. I also need to mix that with the ingredients to make that part of the spell. So here, if I put Missile and Wing of Bat, then at the moment our spell is now Missile. So it doesn't do anything, it just fires something in a direction and then nothing happens. So we're going to add a healing, and healing needs Hedgehog Venom to mix up with, and there we go. So now we've created a spell which is Missile, which is wherever I click, and healing, which will basically mean wherever I click, that will heal that person. There we go, we've mixed that spell together. And now we're on spell 2. I'm going to make another Missile spell. So I'm going to need another Wing of Bat. And this time, now I know this, but if you're not sure about the ingredients, you can click on this eye here. And you can see that damage, this rune here, needs a Brimstone. So I'm going to go damage and Brimstone, mix those together. Bam! There we go. And now you can see I've got 1 Missile healing and 1 Missile damage spell. I'm going to make a couple of those. I'm going to make 10 healing and 10 damage spells. And hopefully Zoffen, you know what, I'm going to make 15 damage spells because that's kind of his thing. Right! Now, this is kind of, as I said, it's very old, so it's kind of not very intuitive. So here I have to click whether or not I want each character to push something, or take something, or look something, or open something, or shut something. So here I've just got Trazere to look at this sign saying, "Prove worthy in this little task, and you shall be grandly rewarded," from NR. Don't know who NR is yet. So I might have to open this case over here, this chest. And then I might have to look in that chest. And then I might have to find the treasure. He's taken a certain potion. Now, look and open most of the time are pretty much useless. I can just take from the chest directly and it will give me what I want. Right, let's go and see what's underneath the clock. There was a scroll of OM. Now, just like when Zoffen was creating spells earlier, he had the arrow, which was missile, and the kind of zigzag, which was damage, and the cross, which was heal. Later on, he's going to be able to access some other runes to cast himself. So this one here, the O rune, is like a surround. So every square around whoever's holding the scroll will be affected by this spell. And then the M is something called Thrall. And Thrall, or Thrall, means that whatever enemy gets attacked by this spell will then turn to your side and become helpful for you. So I'm going to give that to Tunal, I think. Tunal's going to equip that. let's see how we get out of this room then. So, we've got this door here, which won't budge. Okay, fair enough. This door here is locked with a crystal key. Interesting. Okay, and this door won't budge either. Okay, well, I don't have a crystal key, so I'm kind of stuck here, but you might notice there's these runes on the floor, and if you're paying attention, Zothan has recently been using some spells which have those runes. This one here is a damage rune, so I'm going to cause a damage spell to appear, bam, on that rune there, and now we can go through the door. And my whole party follows along. So here, Slyzar's going to open, nothing in the chest, okay, cool. And Slyzar's going to go into his Berserker Rage, and everyone else is kind of just stuck behind him. So Zothan's I'm going to do a bit of healing with Zothan. There we go. Oh, now these guys have it now. Slyzar is not happy. Whoa. Look at all these numbers coming up. Unfortunately, the rest of the crew, in this particular room, it's not very good for the rest of the crew. So, tell you what, Zothan's going to cast a spell. He is going to blast that guy, try and get some damage on him, try and get some experience. And there we go, we're done. So that was that room sort of solved. I'm going to see if Tai Chang can find anything in that chest, and in the meantime, Slyzar's going to see if there's anything under here. Nothing there. Ooh, iron boots. Okay, so Tai Chang can't use the iron boots. He's an assassin. If he uses iron boots, you know, he's going to sneak up on his target. Clunk, 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 clunk. That's not going to be very good for him. So Tai Chang's going to give those to Slyzar. He's our powerhouse. He's going to be doing the damage. So now you can see this stat here. This is AC, and that stands for armor class. Now, the lower your armor class, the better that is. So at the moment it's -4. That means he can take a lot more damage than if it was -2. So ideally, we want our armor class to be as low as possible, and all the rest of these things to be as high as possible. Alright, before we go on, I think we should have a look and see if Tai Chang can find anything on this barrel. Nope, nothing there. Okay, so we're going to go to the next room. And you can only control one guy at a time. And usually I control Slyzar, because he's the one that can take the most damage. So if I make a mistake, it's definitely not a problem if Slyzar makes a mistake. But if someone kind of squishy like Zothan, if he made a mistake, that wouldn't end very well. Okay, let's go this way. Now, at any point in this dungeon, each of these rooms, they can get invaded by some of the guys who are in the dungeon. They might just appear randomly and kind of attack you. Also, in the meantime, we've got this guy up here, this dragon. He's called Elliot. And Elliot the dragon is recording where we are. So we started off in this room here. We went through a short corridor, and then we came into another room. We've gone through another couple of corridors, and now we've kind of... looks like there's going to be a next room in here. So let's have a look what's in here. Oh, bad guys. Berserker Rage. Come on. Tunal, get out of the way. Oh, it didn't work. Okay. Well, at the moment, Tunal can't go anywhere. There we go. What about... see, I'm worried about casting a damage spell with Zothan right now, because he might just... There we go. Bam! The problem with that missile is if it goes through one of the guys that I'm part of, you know, if it goes through Tai Chang or Tunal or Slyzar, it's actually going to do damage to them instead, and we don't want that to happen. Right, let's find out what's in here. Bag of venom sacks and an azure key, and I think there's a bag of gold. Ah, there we go. I saw that bag of gold there. Good. Right, let's have a look. We've got an azure key now, not a crystal key. We did want a crystal key to open that door in the first room. And this bag of venom sacks. Well, I'm going to give this to Zothan, because this is actually an ingredient that he needs for making some of his spells. And once he equips it, bam, it disappears, but it ends up in his kind of potion-making ingredients. Now, I'm choosing Slyzar to go through first on each of these sections. And as I said, just because it makes it less of a risk for Slyzar to go in first, because if he takes the damage, it's going to be less of an issue. Now, this is one of the problems right now, is Tunal is currently in the lead, because this kind of room only lets one of you go through at a time. So if there were any enemies here, Tunal would have been taking the brunt of all these kind of attacks, and she's not as strong as Slyzar at being able to take these attacks. Now, we didn't have a crystal key, so let's find out what's through this door here. And again, we're going to use Zothan. Zothan has a healing spell. There we go, interesting. Okay, the plain corridor. Okay. 2 doors. Doesn't really matter which door you go in most of the time. Nothing under the barrel. Cool, let's go. And in this room, we've got a mage here. We want to take that guy out as soon as we can. There we go. Come on, Slyzar. As I said, this game was made in 1992, so it's a little bit outdated, I might say. It's a little bit clunky with its controls, doesn't quite make sense. Amber potion, that's good. I'm going to give the amber potion to Zothan. And the amber potion gives you immunity from magic. So if someone cast a magic spell at Zothan, it wouldn't do as much damage because Zothan's now currently immune from magic. This scroll here, P means forward. So just like missile means like in a direction and the O means surrounding, forward means just the square in front of you. So if Slyzar is facing someone directly, then forward damage means it's going to damage the square directly in front of Slyzar. Now I'm going to give that to... Let me give that to Tunal. Tunal's going to use that. So in case Tunal is in a bit of a sticky situation, she can instantly damage the thing that's right in front of her. And I'm also going to give this Serpent Potion to Tai Chang. A Serpent Potion is a health potion, basically. Now, a lot of these things aren't very obvious, but if later on we get to talk to someone called the Ancient, and if we show this person some of these items, we get to find out what they do. Or you could just trial and error. Luckily, I've been playing this game for almost 30 years, so I kind of know what some of these things do. So I don't need to look it up, and I can kind of wing it as we're going. Right, we've got 3 bad guys here. Tai Chang, you do this. Zothan. Oh, now, this bad guy was flashing blue for a while, and that means that he's about to teleport. Some of the bad guys, like this, they have a magical ability, and unfortunately, that means that Zothan's not going to be able to damage them as much. Because they are, if they've got that magical ability to teleport, they are also, for some reason, able to resist magic spells. So Zothan at the moment is actually pretty useless. Doesn't really do much, but later on in the game, he becomes the most powerful member of the party by far. So let's carry on going. Oh, looks like it's going to be a dead end here. And you can see, so these skulls are kind of like the health of each of my characters here. Excuse me. And you can see that Zothan, Tunal's song is regenerating the health slowly. So a brown skull means it's kind of like half a skull, and the white skull means full. It's also to do with your luck. So if you are very lucky, your skulls will be white, and that means you can avoid damage more. But if you've taken quite a lot of damage, your skulls will turn green, and eventually they'll turn red, and that means you'll take damage a lot quicker, and we don't want that. Right. There's a mage here. We don't want this mage. He's causing all sorts of trouble already. Come on, Slyzar, attack this guy. And I want you, Zothan, to attack. Ah, here we go. Come on, Zothan. Oh no! Oh! Sorry, Slyzar. I didn't mean that. Here, have some healing. Oh, that is awkward. So, sometimes you're a little bit slow to react to things. Could be that you accidentally attack your own dudes, and we don't want that. Right. Tunal's taken some iron boots. I think Tunal can wear the iron boots. That's great. Now let's take some leather boots and a crystal key. Brilliant. Okay, so we finally got the crystal key, which means that we can advance to the next room off that main entrance there. So let's have a look what's through here. Hopefully we can get back to the main room without getting ambushed by anyone. And I think actually, you know what we'll do when we get to the main room is we'll go back to the outside of the guild and we can kind of sell some of the stuff we picked up, see if there's anything else in the shop for us to buy. Don't think there will be, but you never know. So we're going to leave the dungeon up here. There we go. And I think that's quite a good place to end the episode, so I hope you've enjoyed, and I shall see you next time. Bye bye.